Gary, final match of what feels like it's been a very long season against Morecambe on Sunday. How have the players reacted from last weekend?
Yeah, I think they've reacted well. It's never easy to lose a game of football. It's never easy to lose in a kind of the manner that we did, to lose 6 goals, to be totally outplayed. But we came in on Sunday afternoon when the players were meant to have a day off. I spoke to the leadership group about coming in, and they were fully behind that. And not putting it to bed, so to speak, because I said to them after the game, I think it lives with you forever, those moments and those days, but trying to get some reason behind it, try to learn something from it. And the big thing on Sunday was we wanted to go away from the training ground having felt that we have learned something from that experience, and that experience will make us better. So whilst it is never nice, then I hope it can be something that we can use to make us a better team and bring us more together.
You've trained here at the stadium today. How important is it, do you feel, for the players to train at the stadium as opposed to the training ground? Just, I think before you've spoken about them to get a feel of the place and prepare themselves for a home match.
Yeah, it's brilliant. We're training here again tomorrow. The pitches at the training ground are fully ripped up, and as in Chaz's words, they're ready to grow. So that's all good, and they will. When we come back first day of pre-season, they will be, the grass will be fully grown, they'll be ready to go, and we can, start to do our training for next season on them then. So it's good to come here and have a surface that is exceptional. You can see there's hardly a mark on it. We'll train here tomorrow. Chaz can then, and his staff can get it in pristine condition for the game on Sunday. But it's great for the players to come here and have a really good surface, and it was a really good session that we had.
There's a lot riding on this game against Morecambe for our opponents. They know they need to win to have a chance of staying up. When you're playing a team who know what they need to do, does that in some ways play into our hands? Because you could probably kind of make an assumption of how they may set up.
Yeah, a little bit. I think we don't change how we prepare for a game. We analyse every team the same, whether it's Ipswich, who are going to win promotion or win the league, or a team that's fighting relegation. We analyse every team the same, we prepare the same, we give the players as much information as we can to make sure that they're ready to go and perform. So I think what we do know is they're in good form. They've played the same way the last few games, so I'd be very surprised if they change that. But as ever, when we play at home, I think it's about what we do, regardless of who we play at home. I think if we play to our best, like we did against Barnsley, then we can beat any team in this league at this stadium. So it's a big day for us. We want to finish the season on a high. We want to give our supporters something to cheer about over the summer and finish our first season back in League One for a long time on a real high, and give them something to cheer about over the summer, so that next season we come back with the momentum of this game.
We've got so much to be proud of this season. We're heading for what looks like a mid-table finish. So to have been on that losing run, it felt like a disappointing end to something we've got to cheer about, really. Is that another message you'll be sort of sending to the players about, as you said, giving the supporters, sending them on their summer holidays with something to cheer about?
Yeah, I think so. I think it could be easy to look at the last 6 games in isolation and look at the season in a negative way. I think 5 of the games we played very well in and done a lot of good things. One game was obviously really disappointing, but if we look at the season as a whole, it's been a brilliant return to League One. We have been, very good for large parts of the season. We had obviously a change of manager, which for most clubs it might not seem like a lot, but for this football club that is a huge change. And through that change, we still managed to win games. We still managed to have a relatively comfortable season in terms of staying in the league. I think what we have learned is that next year our aims, our goals have to be more. We have to look to be better than we were this season, and that starts on Sunday, that we can win that match, see where it takes us in the league, and then look towards next season.
When you joined the football club in October and you had those conversations with the board and your players on that first few weeks, how we performed, has that matched where you think you wanted us to be, or have we exceeded, or have we fallen below where you wanted us to be?
Yeah, I think I always knew it would be a challenge. When I took over, I felt like we were in a little bit of a false position in the league because of the teams we had faced. We had only faced Barnsley and who were in the top 8 at that time. We hadn't faced any other top 8 side, which was then we were going to have to play all of them home and away, which was going to be a big challenge to win the points that we needed to win. But then also I think when you come in mid-season, there is that balance of winning games of football and creating the identity that I feel this football club needs to be successful. And I think we have came a long way since probably the turn of the year. I think we've came a long way in building that identity. I think we have a clear playing style now, in and out of possession. We can be flexible in how we set the team up tactically. So I think we have developed a lot, whilst also gaining enough points to secure that League One status. So it's a great starting point for next season, for pre-season, where we can really create change and look to build to be even better next year.
Has there been any particular matches that stand out to you where you feel that identity that you've been trying to create has been executed perfectly?
Yeah, I think there's been a lot since the turn of the year. I think probably Wycombe away was, in terms of in possession, I thought we were outstanding that day and how we controlled the game and our rotations, and I thought we deserved to win the game. Having been a goal down very early, we didn't change, we didn't start kicking the ball long, we stuck to how we want to play the game, and that got us the equaliser and could have got us the win, so that was pleasing. I think the pleasing game here would undoubtedly be the Barnsley game, where we faced a team in great form. They were flying, they were going for automatic promotion, and we were able to adapt how we played to match them and give them a huge problem that ultimately helped us go on and win the game and give us a great night at SJP. And then recently in a game that we lost in terms of identity, I thought Sheffield Wednesday we were brilliant in terms of in possession, how brave we were to pass the ball, out of possession, how we could set up slightly differently to stop one of the better teams in the league. So there's been lots of moments, but they're 3 games that kind of stick out in my mind of different parts of our identity, and we have to keep that moving forward next season and keep growing to be a League One club again next season and try and be even better than we were this.
We know we've had injury issues over the last few weeks, so perhaps the end of the season comes at the right time in allowing those players to recover, but can we expect to see any of those absentees back for the final game?
Hopefully, yeah. Archie trained today, Noms trained today, so hopefully they came through that okay. We'll train tomorrow and Saturday and be available for selection. We have had the injuries at the kind of wrong time, so to speak. When we had our most difficult run of the season, the injuries came, and I think that was probably a byproduct of the hard work the players had put in and the season catching up with several players at the same time. And they weren't big injuries, but they were injuries that kept people out for a period of time that all came at the same time. And all credit to everyone who's came in. I think we've been very competitive apart from one game, but it's also given us an opportunity to give youngsters a chance, and that is what this football club is all about. Playing Pedro Borges for his debut last week, Sonny Cox getting a few starts, which is great for them and their development. So I think with the problems that the injuries come, then it gives opportunities for others, and that has been the case in the last few weeks.
No doubt the cogs are whirring in your brain about what you want to do over the summer and who you want to bring in and your plans, but hopefully you'll be taking some well-earned time off. Any plans for a nice summer getaway?
Yeah, we're going to go to Turkey with the kids and Jen. 5 kids in Turkey for a week, so I'm not sure it's a holiday, but it'll be good to spend time with them, get a bit of golf in, but I'm sure I'll always be on the phone. I'll be in touch with Marcus daily to see what players we're bringing in and how we're going to move this forward. So whilst it's a holiday in terms of I get time at home and don't have to come into the training ground every day, it's still time where we have to build for next season. But many things are in place. Pre-season plans are fully in place. We're ready to go and we're clear on what we need to do. But recruitment will always be at the forefront of my mind throughout the summer.